One-on-one to our starting lineups for the Lobos. And, folks, Cameron Bairstow. Remember that name. Number 41 from Australia, leading the Mountain West in scoring. Better than 20 points a game. He could be the player of the year in this conference. As far as Las Vegas is concerned, making his second start of the season, Daquan Cook steps in. But Roscoe Smith, who transferred here from UConn, leads the conference in rebounding with 11.3. So we are set to go. And there is Coach Dave Rice in his third season. I know, Coach, he speaks very highly of you and said he learned a lot of basketball just listening to you at some clinics.
Well, there are probably some things that he learned that weren't all that good when I was talking at clinics, too. One never knows. But I always appreciate that when somebody comes up and says, you know, we're trying to do something with our offense or defense that you talked about at a clinic. I have a great appreciation for the job that confronts all coaches, Brett, and probably none more so than the game of basketball.
And there is Craig Neal in his first year as head coach of the Lobos, and he, of course, was on Steve Alford's staff over at Albuquerque. And when Steve went to UCLA, Craig settled in as a head coach, and this is a very big night for him. He's in hot pursuit of San Diego State in the Mountain West, and if they get swept away here by Vegas this year, that's a big blow to their tournament chances.
I think we're going to see two teams play here tonight that are very good and that will continue playing quite a while once the tournament starts.
Tom O'Neill was tossing it up in a quick whistle by one of the side judges. It looks like they're going to give it over to Vegas on the first possession. There was a violation. Larry Spalding and Darren George are working with Tom O'Neill, so it's Vegas ball out of bounds. And Kevin Olekipe, he's a long-range gunner, folks. He's number 3. Keep an eye on him. First shot of the game is missed, rebounded by New Mexico as Roscoe Smith missed.
Let's see how patient New Mexico is here in this first attempt.
They use Kirk at the baseline. It's spun in and out.
Kirk is one of those big kids, broad-shouldered, big-chested kids that can move around pretty good for his weight.
So they're 0 for 2. There is a Birch miss, Bob.
Yeah, but Kirk had great defensive position. He had 1 foot on the baseline, Brent, so they couldn't drive that way, and really got into the shooter.
Quick ball movement. Williams, a player of the year a year ago, knocks down a 3-ball to put the Lobos out on top. And that is something they did not convert on. They had 3 chances to tie that game in Albuquerque, and they all escaped them. But here they open up with the 3.
Well, it's always neat when you're sitting on the bench to have a kid make the 3 that thought it was going in.
They cut off the penetrating move, something they had trouble with in Albuquerque. So defensively, they're doing a better job on DeJohn Jones here tonight.
The Rebels have taken 3 shots from that right-hand corner, and they haven't had much success with any. And that kid is going to be a big, big weight in this game.
That is Bairstow. We mentioned him, leads the conference in scoring. I think you could see how strong he was as he muscled in.
Quick. I mean, he just went right through 2 guys, and he has got quick feet and quick hands.
Back in the same spot. This time they drive on Kirk, and they're able to convert with Smith, putting the first points on the board for UNLV.
New Mexico isn't really just running up and down the floor. Each possession, they've kind of taken their time. They've seen what's there. They've had good movement. There's going to be a good screen coming from the other side.
Here's Kirk. He's a good shooter outside. Not that time, and a strong rebound for Smith. That's your conference leader in rebounding.
Smith did a really good job of blocking out, Brent. He got his butt right into the defense, or the offensive man, kept him off the board.
Birch, the shot blocker, sends it back outside. Comes out for the high screen. Maneuvering inside, and no traveling. Traveling against DeJohn Jones.
It was a good call.
Here's that pass earlier here, Coach. Take a look at this.
What good position he has, and you can't play him on top like that. High inside, he's going to go to the bucket every time. You've almost got to play behind him.
Going to the bigs inside, and traveling called at the other end.
What happened there is something that you don't see all that often. They got a second defender. Secondary defender came in on the ball and just didn't give him enough. Right here, there he is. Just didn't give him enough room to move. Came back. Now they had 3 on him. That was a great defensive effort.
That's something you love to see, is that help defense. You don't think there's enough of it in the college game.
I wanted to see a shutout sometime. That's what I want.
Quick ball movement to the outside. And an offensive rebound. And Bairstow did it, but it is picked up. KO can't knock it down. And there's contact underneath. And a foul on the rebound.
You got to be careful about slapping the ball back out, because it's not always going to go where you want it to go. You're a lot better off when you rebound defensively to go up with both hands and bring the ball down and then get the conversion started.
Ball out of bounds. Olakibe had that open jumper, couldn't knock it down. Gives it up this time. Now to John Jones, fires one up.
New Mexico does a good job of getting down the floor and then just looking to see what kind of things they have going for them.
Here's Bairstow on the drive, and he earns his way to the free throw line. Roscoe Smith fouled him.
You know, Smith makes a mistake there trying to get in on the ball. Watch this. Right here, there, he's trying to get in on the ball. Move, get in front of him, keep your hands wide. Don't put him on the free throw line. Make him earn it by getting the bucket.
So the 6'9" senior from Australia on the free throw line and knocks it down. 3 points already here tonight. And checking in, their first sub is another 7-footer. Ubach, a Jet. And that will allow Kirk to get a rest, and then he'll be back out. But what a luxury it is, Bob, having 2 7-footers.
Oh, I'll say, and 2 that can play.
The Jet's the defender now. Batch, he gets help. Tap back outside to KO on the drive. Has to pick the dribble up. John Jones.
I'll tell you, to this point, Brent, Las Vegas has done as good a job with that secondary defensive man coming in of any team coach, and he was very difficult to play against. You know, you didn't get a lot of shots, and just like it's a carryover with these kids right now, getting that secondary defensive man in to help on the drive, help New Mexico keep them away from the bucket on the drive. Well, there it is right there again.
And, of course, Dave Rice, who's coaching the running Rebs, was on that 1990 team, played that night in Denver. Nice give-and-go move that time, and driving in is DeVille Smith off the bench with his first of the night. And the running Rebs only 2 of 9, but Smith gave him a little bit of a lift there with that drive to the rim after the timeout. Back at the other side, the 3-ball is knocked down by Kendall Williams. He's hit a couple of them.
That last bucket that the Rebels got, that was the first time they haven't had the second defensive man in on the driver.
Open lane again. And taking it to the wood is Christian Wood.
Little slow coming to help out the big man inside. That was a great offensive move, though.
Vegas goes to the bench. And 2 fellas contribute immediately as they find alleys to drive. Loose ball. Rebs go for it. Picked up. And it's over and back. Forced the turnover.
Very good call from our friend Tom. Right there, he gets all the way there, and that was the second time now that New Mexico hasn't moved into a help position.
That youngster played at Findlay Prep over in Henderson. That's a very, very great prep school for basketball, as many of you fans know. There's a couple of players on the UNLV team who got ready at Findlay Prep, and Wood looks like he's got an upside. Here he is holding the ball now. He's going to gun the long ball. Not this time.
I believe I'd have him shoot a little closer to the bucket.
Bairstow muscles in and is yanked away by that young man.
I'll tell you, the big kid did a really good job defensively there. He was out, what would you say, he was outweighed by 40, 50 pounds.
Exactly. Only a freshman, stands 6'10". He's going to fill out. He'll be a player here for him. Jalon Kendrick now checking in for UNLV. So Rice goes to the bench here early. Getting a lot of fresh faces out there. Certainly gave this team a lift.
Birch is another big agile kid. They've got a lot of big kids that have agility.
So Lekibo, or Lekibe, I should say, better known as KO by everybody.
Great job defensively on the baseline. Another one.
Oh, good answers. That's 2 hoops out for the freshman and a big defensive play.
Yeah, that was a tough bucket. Good defense, yet a bucket still was scored.
Well, the freshman is giving Vegas a lift, and he was pushing on Bairstow, and he fouled him. The 2 of them were going mano-mano, and the freshman trying to hold his ground against the stronger Bairstow. He's whistled for the foul. Here's the coach's son, Craig Neal's son, checking into the game. This is Cullen Neal, reports in for the Lobos. He wears number 13. He's just a freshman.
Well, I'll tell you, this is 2 good teams playing, Brent. This is like I watched St. Louis play VCU last week. That was 2 good teams, and this is 2 good basketball teams here tonight.
Williams, one of the outstanding veterans on the Lobos team. The J comes out to screen. They give it inside. Bairstow makes a move inside. Quick.
Not just quick, but really strong. He went right up through defensive arms there.
Lopez Sosa, the other youngster from Findlay Prep. He's 6'11". He's now out on the floor also. KO kisses it off the glass.
Quick move. Really quick, and he pulled up right at the moment he had to have room to take the shot. That was a really good little play by the guard.
1-point game here in Las Vegas, the rematch. Bairstow lost it, traveled.
Lost his balance to begin with.
Here's what you were talking about in that position, Coach.
Right there, absolutely. He got him on his back, and good pass. This whole thing was set up by this pass right there. Defensive man coming along the baseline was too slow getting there. That's that second defensive man that we keep talking about. When a pass is being made, he's got to be moving to clog things up as the second defender.
Coach Neal going to give him a little bit of a break. They brought Kirk back. And a foul on the drive. It goes against New Mexico. Checking in off that Kendall Williams, one of the veterans who's gone all the way. He picks up the personal foul. Smith will take it out of bounds for the Rebs. DeVille Smith. KO guns it.
Don't like to see a 3 thrown up that quick, Brent, in any possession. You know, move it around a little bit. The 3 is always there. Let's see if we can get something where maybe we get a bucket and also draw a foul just like that.
And Kirk stayed with it. And score it. And there is a foul on Lopez Sosa.
Here's a really interesting stat, Brett. Vegas has gotten 14 shots, and New Mexico half that, just 7. And they've gotten that lead when they've been doubled by shooting the Rebels over the low. Now we're going to see a little zone defense from the Lobos. Got the big guy in the middle in that 2-3.
So they adjust the D here. We see Vegas adjusts offensively.
One of the things I always liked against the zone was that guy on top dribble one way and pass back the other way. Don't dribble and pass in the same direction against the zone. Take it away and then reverse it.
And, of course, Bob Knight, 76 Hoosiers, 32-0. And Jerry Tarkanian took a team that was undefeated in 1991, and then they lost in the semifinals to the Blue Devils. And so that gets you up to date with all the undefeateds. Right now, Wichita State, the only undefeated left in Division I.
I made a coaching error that year before that, or we might have won 64 in a row. If I had anything to do, it would be take that back.
What mistake did you make?
Well, we broke our defense up because Scott May had gotten hurt, and we broke our defense up, and we had the best defensive pair of guards that ever played in college in Buckner and Wilkerson. But we had to break that up the way I did it. And had I brought Abernathy in, which was our defense the next year, I think we could have survived that year undefeated. And I blame nobody but the old coach for that.
All right, and here your man Kirk just came up with a big play for the Lobos. Now they miss it this in by Williams. And Smith brings it down to the attack here for the running Rebs.
Pretty good play by Smith. He saw that he couldn't get there, and he held it out. That was pretty good. The big kid did.
Wow, flashing in was Birch. He's a shot blocker supreme, and he got eaten up that time. And Neal gets it back. Ball fake. Crowd wants traveling. No whistle. Williams drives to the rim and lays it in.
Now,
and look at Coach, he's furious.
Well, he's upset about what he thought should have been a call, but they reacted very, very poorly.
Hey, what are you watching?
So Vegas is down 7 right now. And they've been stymied here offensively the last few trips. Get it into Birch and Kirk, and a foul is going to be called against the Lobos. ESPN's coverage of the NBA continues. Friday night doubleheader. First at 8 o'clock, the Nuggets will travel to Chicago to take on the Bulls. And then at 10:30, it'll be the Celtics and the Lakers. NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. And that's a tough foul for the Lobos, Bob, because that's number 2 on Kirk.
You know, Kirk has real agility, Brent, for a kid that big. Boy, he's got to be carrying about 250, 255 pounds, but he is a very agile kid with great feet, great footwork. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's about as valuable a kid that you could, as anybody could lose, that kid.
And they've decided not to go to a jet here this time. Bairstow's off the bench, and he is fouled on the catch. Bairstow comes through, and there's the reach in.
Well, I'll tell you what, playing those two big kids, you play those two big kids high-low or cross-screen, they're going to be tough for anybody to play against.
They're still waiting for help, and the guard wasn't over there to his left. Kickball. I thought it got him in the hand on that replay. I didn't think there was any question about it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And that's what Coach was trying to say to him. Bairstow with an offensive rebound, going to try to muscle in. Help defense came that time.
Yeah, really right. Absolutely. Did a really good job doubling up on the ball. I believe there might have been a walk there.
Might be the second time that young Neal has gotten away with the travel.
I could, Brent, possibly have gotten off the bench and maybe exchanged a word or two with the official on that one.
Williams left hand. I think he tried to get back. Now numbers. Dean Jones takes it to the rack. His first of the night. Can't let the athletic ability of the running Rebs get in transition.
No, not at all. All right, they got good double up on him. That's not, yep.
And there's the 3-ball from Cullen Neal.
Good setup, good setup. Had his footwork, that right foot forward, and he stepped into it, leaning for the shot.
You know, Bob, this great hustle by both these squads.
Oh, you got to, you know, this is a great game for somebody that just like basketball to watch it. You know, you're not rooting for either team. You're just enjoying the game because they are both playing extremely hard and well.
From deep in the corner, and the rebound winds up in Delaney's hands. Here comes Neal again. Ball fake. Drove.
Great defensive move
by Birch. Wow, that's a shot blocking ability. Comes the other way, and he's on the free throw line. Great hustle by Birch.
Well, that was a terrific defensive play because he was alert to where the ball was, and when it was driven, he was right there to make the play. So many times, kids won't see that move right where it is. Right there he is. Made a great move. Defense went with the offensive man all the way through the basket.
This young man had 9 block shots. That's the big head up in the crowd. 9 block shots Saturday against Utah State. Let's have some fun with that, don't they? Looks like Paul Bunyan up there in the stands. Kept calm, they call that. (2013) Lobos with the lead. 8:17 remaining here in the first half. Thomas on the floor. Cleveland Thomas for New Mexico. Bairstow continued to play down that low block. Williams gets the ball to him.
A good help now. He's going to get a good move.
And he gets fouled by Birch.
When you've got an offensive post player that's that strong and that big, then you've got to play off of him just a little bit. Give him some room, because the tighter you are defensively against somebody that strong, the quicker and easier he's going to get around you.
Yeah,
you give him a little bit of room, and then you have room to slide from a defensive position.
That's a second on Birch, too. So that's a blow to the running Rebs here with 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Bairstow again. Great pass inside, but it got away. Looked like he had a look at Lindsay. So we'll take a break. New Mexico 20, Vegas 13.
It's such a high-scoring game, though, that I think that it'll be a little bit different, and Duke will really do a good job, I think, if a good job can be done against Syracuse. You know, they play the zone, only the zone, and they play it very well.
So tonight, Vegas shooting. Well, a good follow-up there underneath by Birch.
Oh, no block out. Boy, well, that was a freebie for Birch, as quick as he is.
He's 2 of 5 and raises their shooting up to about 34% here in the first half. Bairstow muscles and can't stop him.
I mean, he just knocked Birch out of the way completely there.
So he has 7 points for the night. Long ball, not there. Battle rebound. Smith underneath. The leading rebounder dug one out, and he'll come to the free throw line.
Okay, watch the shot's going to be taken here, and then let's see the missed block out that gets the bucket. There's the shot, and there he is, completely alone. Nobody slid in from the offside or the help side, and his own man defensively was down on the baseline, I think, watching the shot being taken.
Vegas struggling with the free throw line here, Bob. They're now 1 of 5 after that miss, and that's in their building. Of course, we should point out that in each of the last 2 seasons, New Mexico has come in here and knocked Vegas out of the Mountain West tournament. That's right. They won twice in a row, 2 back-to-back tournaments. They'll come back here and play the Mountain West tournament.
Brent, I've thought over the years that one of the most important things that coaching basketball can do is really minimize the road game. You know, don't ever talk about the advantage we have at playing at home or how difficult it's going to be when we play away. I think that's one of those things that you just say, hey, if the buckets were 12 feet high, it'd make a difference. If the floor was 70 feet long instead of 94 feet long, it'd make a difference. But otherwise, there's no difference. And I think you have to maintain that with your kids.
I want to follow up on that. Did Indiana, under Bob Knight, have a losing record against any Big Ten conference team on the road when you wound up your career at Indiana?
I think we probably did on the road. I don't think in the end that we ever had the losing record against anybody from in the Big Ten. But we had a lot of times on the road, you know, where we didn't lose. But I think that people got a piece of us a few times on the, you know, like you saw the games that Gene Cady and I masterminded when
that is true.
When we were coaching. I mean, those were tough, you know, and he's one of the guys that I have tremendous respect for in coaching against and just having as a friend. But we had some tough battles.
Neil was on a very good Georgia Tech team that I covered down in the late 80s, a Ramblin' Wreck. Was a long-time assistant, not just in college, but in the NBA. This is his first year as head coach, and his Lobos are up 22-16 now, 6:26 remaining.
They've had good patience. Really, both teams have had pretty good patience offensively.
Down inside, there's a collision. Bairstow and the freshman, Carlos Lopez Sosa, wrapped up. And that's his third foul. Bairstow's coming to the free throw line. Let's take a look in underneath here. Oh, man, Bairstow got into it, didn't he? Bairstow.
Not really a favorable call in the eyes of the fans.
I might be siding with the fans. I thought that Bairstow might have used the right forearm initially to start. I mean, maybe that's legal down in Melbourne. I don't know.
Well, every once in a while you got to act like you're a defensive end, you know, just to let people know you're in there in the post a little bit. You know, a little defensive end play never hurt anybody.
No, that's true. So Birch comes up here, 1 of 6, and now 1 of 7.
He looked like a 1 of 7 free throw shooter on that one. Oh, he was so tight with it. You know, there wasn't any looseness there at all. Now watch how he leans back a little bit here. And that's a deadly thing to do in a free throw. Leaning back. Watch his shoulders are going to come back right there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one thing you just don't want, because now you've got to make that up. But he happened to hit that one.
A little violation. So he gets a chance to make up for it here.
See, there's that bad move with the shoulders coming back behind him.
22-17 now. It's coming down to 6 minutes here in the first half.
Really good help inside by the Lobos with cut off the baseline drive. Did it again.
Yeah, Vegas doing a good job defensively. Bairstow sets outside. Missed tap. And Thomas may have come over the top. He did.
Can we show that again, the shot that he took over there? Do we have time to do that? Watch how off balance he is when he takes the shot over there. Good feet. Now look his balance is so bad when he goes up. He's leaning backward. That's something that the kids watching don't want to do. You want your head in front of your feet when you're delivering that shot.
Now it'll be Smith's turn at that free throw line.
You know, one of the great important things, Brent, in shooting, as you well know, is how a kid gets started and how he gets the proper movement with his feet and goes up with his head in front of his feet and gets into the shot. There's so many kids just kind of pick up the shot and then nobody helps them iron out some of the wrinkles in it.
UNLV here 3 of 11. Now make it 4 of 12. At the free throw line.
Well, you'd want to think that 8 or 9 of 12 would be necessary, and that puts a big dent in New Mexico's difference right now.
Williams on the drive, left hand.
Well, what a quick move that was. But again, we'll see the absence of that second defensive player. And I'm just telling you that when you're watching basketball, always look for a second defensive player to help on a drive.
Smith lowers his head. And there, fine rebound by Greenwood. He's been kind of quiet here tonight, number 3. And he pops out, comes around Bairstow, fellow Australians on this team. Great cut, Williams.
Oh, what a good pass.
Beautiful, huh?
Oh, that's as nice a play as you're ever going to see. Greenwood saw the cutter in difficult circumstances. That was a great look by him, followed up by an equal, getting the second man to help defensively in the zone as well as man-to-man.
A Jet is back. 7-footer down in the middle of this zone now. Battles in. So DeJohn Jones puts it away that time. That's a couple of hoops for him tonight.
Jet had to do a little bit better job there. He was slow getting to the shooter, and they got that shot right over him.
O'Neal missing. Rebound by Birch. Vegas trying to put together field goals. DeJohn Jones again. A little bit out of control on it, but a great follow by Birch, and it wouldn't stay down. And the foul's going to go against the Lobos.
I tell you, the Rebels are using the free throw line. You've made 3 or 4 comments about it. If they had been shooting well, there had been a lot more pressure on the Lobos right now than there is. Let's see if he gets the same kind of stroke here. Doesn't bring it back quite as far. Watch his follow through. He had very good follow through on the last free throw. Straight up. He got leaned back a little bit again. And, you know, you're leaning back trying to shoot forward is a real problem from the free throw line.
Lobos with a 5-point lead down toward the 4-minute mark here. Williams feeling it tonight. Greenwood off a screen, gives it back. Pick. It was going to be a pick and pop, but Bairstow taking it on.
I would say, my friend, that was a pretty strong move inside.
It really was. Looked for a moment like he was just going to pop it on the outside. He said, let's take the easier shot.
Boy, and he just went right up and total control. Both hands on the ball and just jammed it. Done a good job, the Lobos, with their 2-3 zone. They've kept the ball outside for the most part. They've recovered well like they did there.
Terrific rebound by Birch up over the top.
See, after that first shot was missed, let's don't just take a 3. Let's work that defense a little bit. I thought that shot was much too quick. They a little bit of a tendency to slow it down a little bit and then speed it up.
Yeah, they change the pace.
Yeah, they do. They really do. Maybe they stay with the slowdown just a little bit too much, perhaps.
And the 3-ball by Devil Smith.
Now those last 2 threes, the red 3 and the white 3, would have been great to put on a film for kids because both kids went up leaning into the shot.
And Williams answers with a tough 3 under pressure.
It was a tough 3.
Smith, and a blocking foul is called against the Lobos. They wanted a charge call on this.
No, I couldn't really see whether he moved or not, but in fact, I think that left hand that you called would be something we should submit to one of the best calls in this year's basketball games.
The old southpaw driving in with the left hand. Well, Vegas starting to warm up now at that free throw line. Just knocks it down. 33-26. Lobos lead.
But now New Mexico's retaliated pretty good. Anytime they've scored, now they've got a real deep lineup here. They've almost taken the baseline away from themselves by going so deep.
I will say that New Mexico runs one of the best half-court offenses that I have watched this year in college basketball. Some teams just come down and move the ball around the perimeter, and they don't seem to have any focus or an idea on what to do. The Lobos have an idea of what to do with the ball.
They move well, too. They look for people that are open. They look for people that are cutting. They've gotten several good opportunities to score tonight based on their cutting.
Of course, I was one who last year when March Madness said, I'm telling you, New Mexico's going to the Sweet 16. How'd that work out, Harvard? Wow. The Crimson picked them off in the first game. A lot of brackets went kaput with that win. There's Jones on the free throw line.
We had a time or two when we didn't last all that long, too. There's nothing.
Happens to everybody.
There's nothing worse than that.
It happens to everybody.
You know, you get beat early. You got so much time to think about it when you can't do anything. You can't coach. You can't, you know, that's why fishing is so good.
Well, Bobby Howe, the Las Vegas football coach, was here. And he and Coach Knight talking about fishing together up in Montana. And the fly fishing, they'll be running here pretty soon up in there. We want to get you out of Texas up to Montana, spend some of that night money up there in Bozeman.
We got to get a few Texas turkeys first.
There's the ball stuck up there, so it's a hell ball. But they keep possession. New Mexico does. That's right. You got the turkey season first, right?
Oh, yeah. We got to do a few things with the turkeys. Call the turkeys a little bit.
So it'll be Lobo basketball. Fresh shot clock for him. Williams on the floor here for Coach Neal.
My turkey hunting buddy is a minister. I just simply refer to him as the Pope.
That's it. .110 remaining in our first half.
I'm not sure as a minister what he found in me.
To the inside now. Barstow turns it over. Lost the handle. Vegas with a chance, but no daylight. Here's that freshman Wood. They let him go again. You got to cut him off.
That's exactly right. You hit it right on the head because that was the first defensive possession, the worst defensive possession that New Mexico has had. They had no concept, no thought whatsoever of keeping the drive from getting in the foul line, in the foul lane.
Bairstow puts it down. Muscles comes back with the right hand. A powerful Australian player. 11 points here tonight.
Boy, I think if the fouls didn't enter into it, those two big kids they have would be awfully tough, high, low, and across the lane. They've just been playing one of them at a time tonight.
Last shot. Give it back to the long ball artist. At the buzzer, no good. Onakibe with the last shot of the first.
Here's what's interesting for me to start with. They've got the two big kids. New Mexico has the two big kids playing in a high-low post situation now on offense when they get to the other end. There they do a good job switching inside. Big kids are very agile.
Jones loses it. Here comes Williams. Big night for Williams. Got one-on-one. Coming with the right hand, no. Birch follows. One and done, so that time Williams didn't get it done.
Williams had to take the ball back to the middle and then come back to the right side with it. Drive that defensive man on the opposite side of the bucket so you've got some room. He didn't do that. Got to make a little fake and force him away from you.
Meanwhile, Bairstow comes up with a fine defensive play. You know, he's a good all-around basketball player. This young man.
Hey, I'm telling you, those two big kids, there are a lot of teams that could use those two big kids playing.
Now, Kirk was saddled with 2 fouls, so he played only 6 minutes in that first half. And Williams is back checking on something with the official. Tom O'Neill's a veteran here with Larry Spalding and Darren George working this game. There were a total of 13 fouls called against New Mexico and 8 against UNLV.
You know, I'll tell you, a great line for a comeback by an official is, hey, you know, you've called 8 fouls on us and 1 on them. And the great comeback is, yeah, he said, I'm glad you saw that. You fouled them 8 times and they fouled you once.
Reminder now that Thursday night we'll start the Big Ten with Michigan State taking on Purdue. And that'll be followed by the makeup game, Duke and North Carolina in Chapel Hill. North Carolina about playing a little bit better than Roy Williams right now.
They got things going, and they've kept them going pretty well. You know, sometimes you don't know what happens. You've lost a couple kids from the year before. You've changed positions around a little bit, and it just sometimes takes a while for things to click. But North Carolina's been playing pretty well lately, last 10 games.
For some, when you're in Las Vegas, every night is Halloween. Williams gets it down in low now to Kirk. Kirk with that jump hook. Nice move.
He's got those big shoulders, and he's right-handed, and when he turns to that left shoulder, it's very difficult to even come close to getting a piece of the ball.
Lobo's biggest lead of the night. Smith knocks down the jump shot.
Nice fake by Smith. He had complete control of the shot. They've taken some shots, Vegas has, where they didn't have complete control of the shot, but he had a great motion going up into that shot. Williams did.
Bairstow's turn. Battle for the rebound.
Going to get the big kid for over the back there, I think.
And that'll be number 3. Remember, played only 6 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, that wasn't a real smart play on his part. That ball was too far away from him to have a chance to get it. Really good help on the baseline. Took it away completely by getting that outside foot on the baseline.
Saved. Beautiful save. But they can't convert off of it, and it's Lobo basketball. Greenwood gives it to Bairstow, and he rolls in for an easy deuce.
Really nice look by Greenwood. Came off.
Kirk rebound. Smith's miss.
Greenwood came off that play, made a really, really good pass.
Bairstow muscles in, and he's on the free throw line.
Now, that's the first funny move that we've seen those two big kids make. Watch here how he does not use his left hand. Oh, now we're at the other end. Now, that was before this one. On this last one, he came in, got the ball, and went up, but did not use his left hand. Could have made a 3 out of that one.
Checking in now for the Lobos is Merv Lindsay. And with 3 fouls, Kirk will take another seat. So he's been taken out of this game by the fouls tonight.
Surprised he didn't use his left hand going to the bucket that time. That could have been a 3.
Comfortable lead for the Lobos despite the foul problems that Kirk has encountered along with the Jet. Smith backs in, and Bairstow swats it out of bounds. Running Rebs basketball.
I've been more impressed with the way New Mexico helps on defense than any team I've seen play this year, Brent. They're really alert as to where the ball is, and they are in a very good position to come to help.
One and done on the Jones miss.
Nice play by Williams. It tried to get it, saw it wasn't there, no problem, backed it out. Now they still have a good chance to get a score.
Bairstow going to put it down, wraparound's good. Drove right by Birch.
See, that's where Birch immediately has to take away the outside. As soon as the ball comes to the driver, that defensive man has got to move to his outside. This thing you're looking at there, he's gone 6 times with rebounds, about 6-7 times with his scoring.
was short on that shot from the outside that time. Obviously, he's one of the leading candidates, if not the leading candidate, for Player of the Year in the Mountain West. His teammate Williams won that award last year. Birch with Bairstow on him. The battle, and the ball is picked up by the Lobos. And on the inside, cruising in is Delaney.
Boy, what a great pass that was.
Does not appear to be Vegas's night, at least the way things are going. Jones drives in for the layup.
That was a really poor play by Williams. Williams had his back turned. He didn't see the drive. That's the least alert play I've seen Williams make in the entire ball game.
Off a Vegas player, and it'll be Lobos basketball when you come back. They'll have 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and they enjoy a very comfortable lead. They've had the monitor where it should have been to begin with, over at the scorer's table.
Well, that was a tough game. We had a great game we had with Las Vegas.
Oh, I'm telling you, they were a heck of a team that year. They still remember it in this town, believe me. Staying right with it. It blocked by Wood. What an upside that youngster has.
What a steal that was right there. Wow.
Right back on great play, Williams. What a good night he's had. Watch this. Lost it. Smith lost it when he spun around. Williams coming up now, free throw line. A very impressive performance by New Mexico. Now remember, the Lobos are in pursuit of San Diego State. And I believe they've still got 2 games left with him, in Albuquerque and out in San Diego. I'm telling you right now, those are going to be tough basketball games.
Well, let me throw a thing in about San Diego State. Steve Fisher has done a really, really good job maturing as a coach and developing his team over the years at San Diego State. He has done a marvelous coaching job with his team.
Williams has a 20-point game. Smith gets in on the other end and scores for the running Rebs. But it's defense. If they're going to climb back in this, they've got to have defense.
That was one of the few times that New Mexico hasn't had a second defender involved in the drive.
Bairstow muscling. Foul is going to be called, and it's going to be on Bairstow, and he can't believe it. That's his second person. He can't believe the foul here.
Let's take a look at this and see. My guess is he pushes off right there. And he got that elbow into it right there, pushed away.
Cleared a little space with it.
Yeah.
Got away with a couple of those, I thought, in the first half. He's a very, very powerful player. Now Jones is going to be fouled, and there's no question about that one. Delaney got him.
Got to keep your hands out of the play. Your hands have a tendency to drift into the uniform or drift onto the guy's hip or whatever. Just get those, spread those hands out, make yourself wider when you're playing the ball. That's better defensive movement right there.
Jones on the drive. Oh, it didn't stay down for him. Had an open look on the drive. Coach Neal's Lobos killing a little time. Boy, I bet the fans down in Albuquerque love this basketball team. Every night this group's got to give you a great show. Bairstow outside, no. Snap down.
Didn't really get set. Wasn't set well when he took that shot. Was off balance on a little fake and then never did get good balance.
Smith again. Got tied up. Here's Wood from the outside.
Pretty quick. Didn't have much. Didn't take much time. Didn't have much room when he shot that three. That was just like catch it and throw it up there. They don't want to slow it down too much. Now, here's the thing that I don't particularly like. You've got 4 offensive players down. Now, 1 coming out, and you've taken away the baseline completely from your drivers. We're going to have to move completely from on top here.
There's Greenwood flashing. Knocks down the deuce.
You see, he's really good with quickness on the dribble and then into the shot. That's the second shot he's made like that. Real, that's not an easy shot.
Good defense at that end by Bairstow. Williams study at daylight. Greenwood again, not clearing. Birch with the rebound, and
holy
is going to be called.
Yeah, he called it. O'Neal made the call, I think. I don't know what he was doing right there. I mean, he didn't need to push anybody out of the way.
Cut right in front of him, Williams did.
I'm not sure what the
foul was on Williams when he cut him off before he got pushed. That's 2 on Williams. 52-35 here at the 13-minute mark.
I was a little confused by that one.
Well, I think they had blown. Tommy blew the whistle back when he cut him off. And then that secondary move, the foul had already been called on Williams when he went over to the table. So he'd already called a foul on Williams. And now if they get the ball to Wood and he's fouled on that baseline, take a look at this one now and see what you think.
You know, yeah, you put your hand on the kid, you've got to call a foul, I think. You know, it doesn't have to be a big shove or a grab or anything, just enough to put him off balance. There's no chance that's going in.
No, that was not a good decision. Still a freshman, still learning. Wide open from the right corner, and it doesn't fall. Thomas had a wide open look that time. KO on the drive, throws it up. Kirk playing with 3 fouls. Great outlet pass to Williams. Williams spot. Not this time. Battle rebound. Tap Thomas. Kept it in play. Kirk now joins, and it's 5 on 5. Kirk's going to muscle in. And there's Wood coming, the second defender that time to block it. And Birch takes it to the rim.
Give it. They got a tee over there. Let's see. I think there's a tee on the New Mexico bench. It looks like we're going to shoot free throws and get the ball. This could be a 5-point swing right here, Brett.
Olekibe will shoot the technical.
1. Two in that bucket, and they still got possession.
So we'll take a break. Vegas basketball when you come back.
To quote from Whitman, you are here. That life exists and identity. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?
It's a pot pie. I didn't know KFC had pot pies. I didn't know anyone had pot pies. You hear that? It's a pot pie. Look at that. Chicken, peas, carrots. Look at that crust. Pot pie, drink. One of KFC's $3.99 combos.
Amazing. I've been Claritin Clear for 6 days. At the first sign of my allergies, my doctor recommended taking 1 Claritin every day of my allergy season for continuous relief. 21 days.
28 days of continuous relief.
Live Claritin Clear every day.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that, Parker.
Well, did you know auctioneers make bad grocery store clerks?
It'll be $23.50. Now 75, 23.75. Hold them. Hey, to get down 23.75 and 24. Hey, $24, 24 and a quarter. Quarter now half. 24 and a half and 75 and 25. Now a quarter. Hey, 26 and a quarter. Don't pay to get down 20. You want to do it? 5 and a quarter. Sold to the man in the khaki jacket.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you. Well, you know.
When we got started, we launched our company on a simple premise. The right technology can create a better entertainment experience. Finding solutions through innovation is what Rovi's all about. For 30 years, we've invented key technologies designed to make entertainment more rewarding. Innovation is at the core of our DNA. As a result, our customers include some of the best-known brands in entertainment and technology. Our commitment to innovation, and most of all, to our customers, is our way of making a better entertainment experience for everyone.
Kevin Connors in studio. Arizona taken to the wire in Salt Lake City. In fact, in overtime, Rondé Hollis Jefferson may have gotten away with one. Cats led by 4. Under a minute to go, Utes down 2 to Lon Wright, but nobody is home. Arizona survives on the road. They win it by a final of 67-63. UCLA 20-point win in Berkeley. Colorado up 5 on Arizona State game. You can see right now over on ESPNU. Brent?
Yeah, Kevin, that's an impressive win by the Bruins. Coach Montgomery and Cal turned in some impressive games earlier in the Pac-12, and they went in there and took care of business. And here, New Mexico taking care of business. However, there was a technical foul. Now watch the defender's left arm. Watch right here. That is what precipitated the technical. As they come down the floor, Neal said, "You've got to call that foul. He's holding my man." He probably did not express himself quite as nicely as I did, and so we got the technical.
Yeah, I had a time or two I did that.
Oh, really? Gee, I'd forgotten that. You did not get as many technicals as we give you credit for.
Oh, you're right. You know that.
Oh, yes, I do know that.
You're one of the few guys that realize that.
Now here's Kirk, bump it in. Spinning into paint, coming back, and the foul this time is going to be called against Vegas.
Foul right there. We whacked him about 3 times before they called him.
And that is his 3rd foul on Birch. So we've got 6 players with 3 fouls apiece in this game. Roscoe Smith and Lopez Sosa for Las Vegas have 3, and on the other side it is Kirk, Delaney, and a Jet.
Now that was 2 big points, although we know we've got a good big spread here, but yet those 2 points were really important because it puts New Mexico back on the board, back in charge. They've gotten a couple points out of a possession. That was a big play for them right there.
Huge difference in this game with the long ball. Vegas is now 1 of 14. 1 of 14 shooting threes. And New Mexico is 5 of 12. That right there adds up to your difference in the game. Vegas being held to 39 points here tonight.
See, I don't like that shot either that Neal just took. They made one pass and threw up a 3. They had things going for them pretty good. Let's move the ball around. Let's put our opponent in a position where we can draw a foul, where we can get to the free throw line if we can't get a bucket. That was just a hasty shot on Neal's part.
Seeing the player look at the fan like that reminds me that the NCAA changed the rules today, that if a player goes into the stands and engages a fan, as Marcus Smart did at Texas Tech at that time and actually pushed the fan, it is going to be a flagrant 2, automatic ejection, 2 free throws and the ball for Team B. That change was announced today, and it's probably a very good change. They try to prevent these fellas engaging.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You keep those kids out of there. That's fine.
Burstall.
I had a time or two I did that.
Oh, really? Gee, I'd forgotten that. You did not get as many technicals as we give you credit for.
Oh, you're right. You know that.
Yes, I do know that.
You're one of the few guys that realize that.
Now here's Kirk, bump it in, spinning into paint, coming back, and the foul this time is going to be called against Vegas.
Foul right there. We whacked him about 3 times before they called him.
And that is his 3rd foul on Birch. So we've got 6 players with 3 fouls apiece in this game. Roscoe Smith and Lopez Sosa for Las Vegas have 3, and on the other side it is Kirk, Delaney, and a Jet.
Now that was 2 big points, although we know we've got a good big spread here, but yet those 2 points were really important because it puts New Mexico back on the board, back in charge. They've gotten a couple points out of a possession. That was a big play for them right there.
Huge difference in this game with the long ball. Vegas is now 1 of 14. 1 of 14 shooting threes. And New Mexico is 5 of 12. That right there adds up to your difference in the game. Vegas being held to 39 points here tonight.
See, I don't like that shot either that Neal just took. They made 1 pass and threw up a 3. They had things going for them pretty good. Let's move the ball around. Let's put our opponent in a position where we can draw a foul, where we can get to the free throw line if we can't get a bucket. That was just a hasty shot on Neal's part.
Seeing the player look at the fan like that reminds me that the NCAA changed the rules today, that if a player goes into the stands and engages a fan, as Marcus Smart did at Texas Tech at that time, and actually pushed the fan, it is going to be a flagrant 2, automatic ejection, 2 free throws and the ball for Team B. That change was announced today, and it's probably a very good change. They try to prevent these fellas engaging.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You keep those kids out of there. That's fine.
Berstol. I wonder if Berstol can catch a football, folks. I take a look at those shoulders, and I'm thinking tight end, but then again, I'm also thinking he grew up in Australia, and he might have been kicking the ball more than catching the ball down there. He's a good-looking athlete. He's powerful.
I really, really like those 2 big kids that New Mexico has. Look how quick he moves his feet. Over here, see if he does it again. See, look, he holds out.
Holds Birch. Birch spins around on him. And Berstol in a wrestling match down inside, and the foul's going to be called. That's number 3 on Berstol.
It was a tough one for New Mexico to let get away. They had the ball. They're down under 10 minutes. They give the Rebels another crack at 2. Nice soft. That was a nice soft. I mean, it wasn't a nets only, but watch, he's got a nice release. It's a soft release. It just kind of went up there like a feather and sat there.
8 points for him, and he's in 6 of 8. Neal loads Berstol. Berstol flashes paint, left hand, no. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds. Vegas basketball trying to mount a charge. Crowd trying to urge the running Rebs back.
They've missed 2 good chances, 2 point-blank chances in there on their last 2 possessions. New Mexico has now. They've got to take advantage of it.
Smith puts it on the deck, drives into Berstol, spins baseline.
6 in a row.
making a push. And for Las Vegas, Greenwood will bring it down behind Williams. Kirk muscles in. Pushing foul goes against UNLV, and that's Roscoe Smith. That's his 4th personal. They'll have to take Smith out, and the freshman, Christian Wood, reports. Lopez Sosa. Goes the other way, offensive foul. Now that is Kirk, and he has 4 fouls. Coach Neal with some decisions to make here. Kirk will sit back down with 4. Lindsay comes in rather than a Jet.
Kirk seemed to get tired going down these last 7-8 minutes because he was so effective until then, and then he missed 2 or 3 inside. He's committed a couple of fouls inside. Kind of wore him down a little bit. Well, I'm not sure. Now there's a push off.
That was Lindsay. That's his 2nd.
See, that's putting yourself in a position where you just give them a chance at 2. Don't get them to the free throw line. Don't let them get there. Keep your hands off. We used to work that really hard in practice. We would practice prep every night up to 10 minutes of playing defense with our hands behind our backs. So we had to play with our feet and our bodies, so we kept our hands out of it. See, over-aggressive hands right here cost New Mexico 2.
The freshman converts. Williams has to pick the dribble up. Bears throws far away from the basket. On the shot. Bairstow going to drive, and he was fouled at the free throw line. And that foul goes against Carlos Lopez Sosa. That's his 4th personal.
See, but New Mexico finds themselves here with 8 minutes to go, and I don't think they're in the 1-and-1 yet. That's not a good result of what you're doing offensively. They should have long ago been in the 1-and-1.
Only 5 team fouls.
A great opportunity here for Las Vegas to get out of it and may actually be a 4-point turnaround. The 2 that New Mexico doesn't get and the 2 they can get, because they were not in the 1-and-1. So important to get into the 1-and-1 quickly. You know, many times as you and I have been together over the years, you've always heard me say that the best thing you can do is make more free throws than the other guy shoots.
Foul against number 11, who will now take a seat. Wood stays on the floor. Williams drives, swatted from behind by Wood. Williams nails a huge three. Early in the shot clock, he rose up and dropped it in, and it's a 10-point advantage again.
Got the defensive man a little bit off balance because of three really good in succession fakes.
And a nice running field goal. Kendall Smith. And Wood with the defensive rebound.
See, right now you don't want to be shooting threes. You want to get to the free throw line, get into the 1-and-1 instead of throwing up threes. Better get some help back there. Well, Vegas had a really nice run there. They got to get back into it here.
Bairstow. He works awfully hard getting position down low.
We had position on the man guarding him. That's where that second man on the outside of the lane had to take away the passing lane, which he didn't do.
Smith from the outside, the three ball. No. Greenwood
over the back.
Over the top coming. Wood was there with him. And he's called for the personal foul. Look down at the feint. They are 1 of 15 shooting the three, trailing by 10. Man, would it help if they could find a shooter. Off the ball foul against New Mexico. That's number 4 on Bairstow.
Boy, you just see, that's the biggest crime in basketball, Brent. An offensive foul that takes away an opportunity to score. That's just really, really careless thought. 2-3 zone. They've done a good job in the zone, actually. Causes them to use a little bit more time.
Now 10 on the shot. Smith under pressure from Williams. Misses the shot. Greenwood goes. It's 1 and done. Open man's Williams. They lose him. Pass to Bairstow. He cannot finish. Great defensive work by Wood, the freshman. Jones, 3, no. And there is Wood to the floor. Taken away. Easy. Cruises. Williams. Timeout, Vegas.
That was a really needed kick in the tail right there for New Mexico because they've given away some points down at the other end.
When Steve Fisher brings that team to town, it's a fun team to watch. Both these teams are.
This conference is going to have some good games in the NCAA tournament.
I agree. Last year they were a disappointment. We thought they were going to have some success. We'll see what happens this year. Knocked away from Smith, out of bounds. It'll be their basketball with 14 on the shot. Down to 5 minutes now. So time becomes a little bit of a factor here, Bob, and they still cannot find that outside shot.
Yeah, well, they did a really good job there. They being New Mexico, they haven't put them on the free throw line yet. This 2-3 zone has been good for them. They've done a good job with their movement. They got a second defensive man in both situations.
3 on the shot, got to hurry. Against the shot clock. Greenwood tracks it down. Very good defense, as you pointed out, by the Lobos.
And really a nice recovery by Greenwood. He got a hand on it, not hard enough to throw it out of bounds. That's a big possession for him here.
4.5 minutes.
Needs a little more movement than they've got.
Greenwood still killing seconds. Time is becoming a huge factor in this game, and the Lobos are running it down. Dish to the side. And offensive rebound and a fresh clock, and Greenwood right away said, take your time, run some more off. Let's get it down inside 14.
That rebound was worth another 30 seconds.
Bairstow flashes, tap Greenwood. Greenwood stuck right with him on the inside. A good putback.
You know, Greenwood's made 4 really good plays here in about the last 2 minutes, 2 at each end.
I asked you today at practice what he missed most. And long ball finally falls for Vegas. John Jones knocked it down. They need a little bit more of that. Try to play catch up. It's 11-3:30. But I asked Greenwood, who's got the ball right now, what do you miss most about Australia? The beaches.
Well, you kind of expected that one, I think, because you kind of grinned when he answered that. Well, I didn't like him standing out there with the ball in one hand, I'll tell you that.
Oh, a hard foul on the drive. Points.
Well, this is a
time tonight he's got to the free throw line.
Well, you know, this is a situation where the Lobos want to shoot a free throw on every possession, and they'll get it because Vegas can't afford to let 30 seconds go off the clock. They've got to foul quickly. That's a good start for their free throw charge at the end of the game. Well, they've done a great job in their 2-3 zone.
Kirk back on the floor, as you pointed out, Todd.
2 guys. Boy, they're doing a great job with 2 people.
Long ball is finally knocked down by UNLV, and they are 3 of 20. That's his first of the night. He's 1 of 6. And he's probably their best outside shooter.
This is good here. You know, they're going to go down. They'll have 12 seconds left to get something on the board.
To a wide open Bairstow. Offensive putback, no. Kirk reaches for it. And Smith comes away. Another chance here. And he's on the free throw line. UNLV on the drive. He comes off the bench, nails the 3. Now he's on the free throw line, trailing by 10 with 2 minutes to go.
Thing that the Lobos really want to do here is come back with 2 of their own. You know, they've got a chance to come out of this a point ahead, even if he makes this and they make 2. You got to stay even from this point on. You just can't get behind. Get the ball in the hands of your 2 best free throw shooters and let them go to the line. Get somebody up on that high post.
There is the foul. Kendrick. That'll bring Delaney up to the free throw line.
Still, they just have not gotten into the 2 yet. Actually, here in the waning minutes of the game, drawing the free throw was done better by Vegas than it has been done by New Mexico.
Delaney makes that front end very important here.
Yeah, now they retained that tie. They retained that 10-point spread, and here they come out a point ahead. They're going to make a substitution over here. Got the ball back. This big 30 seconds here, Brent. This pretty much puts the icing on the cake.
Playing keep away. Bringing it down toward that 1 minute mark. Williams.
Vegas was kind of frozen in its tracks on that one.
So New Mexico going to get even with UNLV on the season. Having lost in Albuquerque by 3. We've got a timeout right now with inside of a minute remaining. And the Lobos headed for a Mountain West victory and a big one.
You know, Vegas did a counter draw any fouls around the bucket in like 4 out of 5 possessions, but then they did a great job regaining control of the game.
So the final seconds ticking away here, and of course the Lobos will be coming back to Las Vegas for the Mountain West tournament in mid-March. And there probably is foul number 5 on Lopez Sosa. So he is fouled out of the game.
Return for the Rebels.
You know, in the second half here, I think something that's worth saying or thinking about is that New Mexico actually kind of hung in there without a whole lot from their 2 big kids. You know, they lost some of the lead and then they got it back in, but it wasn't the 2 big kids overpowering anybody that got them back where they were.
Well, this has been the ringleader right here, Williams, here tonight. And
well, you brought that up.
Stepped up.
You brought that up at the halftime. What a great job Williams was doing, and you've also talked about Greenwood, who made a variety of plays that were important here in the second half.
Final seconds ticking away. Las Vegas not going to foul right now. Greenwood still 7 seconds. Plays catch with Williams. They load Bairstow, who he has been a bear down in that low block. Greenwood digs it out, and this is going to bring it to an end. New Mexico beats UNLV 68.